Alright, this is just a small update, something I've been testing. So this is kind of an early proof of concept test. With crossguard sabers or with dual sabers, one of the things I was kind of thinking of is having the ability to do separate control on the quillion, or if you had a double bladed lightsaber. So this is kind of early, but this is the concept. So this I'm calling a two-stage lockup. And what it is it'll allow you to actually have the main blade controlled with the main lockup. So I'm going to do a localized lockup with that. But then in The Force Awakens, when Kylo is battling Finn, they're locked up together, and then Kylo uses the end of the quillion to actually cut and burn Finn's shoulder. So I wanted to have that ability just to kind of mimic that, because we obviously do have these blades available. So now the way I've set this up is it actually gives separate control to the lockup effect here versus the lockup effect here. So this is very early, and this is just kind of one approach, but I wanted to demonstrate the idea. So this is fully responsive, so it does have the localized lockup that will respond to the blade angle, but then there's actually a second stage lockup that will only happen on the quillion, just like that scene. So we go into localized lockup, you've got the responsive, so you're kind of jostle into position, but then you have this quillion, so I'm going to turn it towards my opponent, and then I can hit and actually trigger that separately. In this setup, it's actually triggered by having lockup enabled and then just touching your power button. The button controls would be dependent upon the user, if you had a third button, etc. So that's not necessarily important. The idea is the ability to actually control what's happening on the blade separately for these effects. And this would be useful in other places, like I said, double bladed sabers, etc. But just something I'm kind of playing with. So I just wanted to kind of demonstrate it. So again, you'll have the main control of this blade, touch your main lockup, and it works with the fully responsive. And then whenever you're ready, or whenever you want to activate that second effect, you can actually control that second effect. So just something new, something, again, still a lot of work has to be done, and there's a few other ways this could probably be accomplished. But this is something I was, messing around with, and I finally got it working. So I wanted to demonstrate it. So now, OS4, if you're not keeping up on TRA forum, with the fully responsive stuff, as I was messing with it and building it, and I got into like the responsive transitions and some other stuff, the style started getting very large. And so Frederick actually had a brilliant idea. He called it a crazy idea. I think it's a brilliant idea. He's actually going after layers. So layers is going to be a huge change to the OS. It's going to be great, but it is actually also going to probably be, for some of you who, like myself, who build these styles, you'll have to relearn some stuff. He's doing a lot so that it's backwards compatible, but to get to all the functionality, you're going to have to learn some new stuff, which is just great. So basically the layers approach he's working on now. Once he gets that all worked out and fixed, then the fully responsive stuff actually is kind of already sitting there, so that'll be in OS4. But so OS4 still has a lot of work to be done before it's going to be out to everybody, but it's going to have even more now. And with the layers approach, it'll actually minimize the code. So it'll actually make it so that these responsive styles aren't so big. He came up with the idea. It's going to be great. But so there's a lot going on. If you keep up on TRA, that's where he posts some stuff. But there's also a lot of other stuff going on. But so those of you who've asked about OS4, it's still in the works. This layers piece is kind of essential to getting all that fully responsive stuff enabled, just because we are adding so much more to what's capable. So he's doing a ton of work on it. Trying to help a little bit where I can, but this is his level of knowledge is the only way that this is going to get done. So I've done proof of concepts on stuff, but he ends up taking it to the finish line. So I just kind of mess with it to get it to a point. But lots and lots of stuff coming, and then a whole bunch of other stuff he's doing to OS4 that just to make it even better. But so all this stuff's in the works. This is brand new. I've shown it to him, but this is something that will be even further down the road. But I finally got some time to mess with it, so that the concept seems valid. The implementation will be, something we work on. But so lots of stuff in the works. When it's finally available, I think OS4 is gonna blow everybody away. I'm super excited about it. So a lot more to come. This was just a small update. Thanks.